Dr. Arjaybe, and I wanted to talk a little bit about nutrition. Um, you know, um, uh, with athletes, they talk about the macros and the micros with their diets, especially the people who are trying to build muscle, the weightlifters. They'll talk about getting their macros corrected and having enough micros. What they're really talking about are the ingredients in an average diet. The macros are carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. The important thing about these things should be the quality. You can get carbohydrates from cookies, cakes, and ice cream. Those are not quality carbohydrates. Fresh fruit and vegetables and whole grains, those are quality carbohydrates. These add a lot of nutrition to your diet and are not adding a whole bunch of junk like sugar and fat. The proteins preferably should come from natural sources. Lean meats, chicken and fish. When I talk about lean meats, what I'm talking about is a steak is lean meat, a hot dog is not. A pork chop is lean meats, bacon is not. So you want to stay to the meats that have less fat. With chicken, the chicken breast or the white meat is going to be having less fat than the dark meat. And you can decrease the fat even more by removing the skin from the chicken breast. Then the chicken is going to be fairly low in fat. With fish, you want to pick the fish that have the least amount of fat. So, let's just say something like perch has less fat than a fatty fish like salmon or mackerel. So the ones that are the heaviest in fats are good for you, but you should limit their use. Likewise, it's not a big deal if you have chicken thigh or chicken leg, which are fattier than the chicken breast. But again, it shouldn't be the only part of your diet, especially if you're trying to keep the fat content down. The other thing is making sure you have plenty of fruits and vegetables in your diet. Fruits and vegetables in general have less fat than anything in your diet, so they tend to reduce the total amount of fat in your diet if you eat a lot of them. Okay, the other thing that's important is the micros. The micros are the vitamins and minerals, and you got to make sure you have enough of that. So basically what I've told people in my practice is pick out one of the multiple vitamins like Centrum, one a day, Theragram M, one of the popular multiple vitamin preparations. And of course, you can use the generic versions of that instead of using the brand names. I don't get paid for by any of these brands, so it doesn't matter to me. If you want to take a generic multiple vitamin, the whole idea is you want to get a multiple vitamin contains everything. All the vitamins, all the minerals. And then you just take one a day and you got everything. Okay, take care. Oh, one more thing I forgot. I wanted also to mention about fluids. One thing that people don't take enough in is fluids during the day. Frequently, I'll find out that people are not drinking plenty of water, and that's also important. So I do want to add that make sure you're drinking the 8 glasses of water that they mentioned. Water, by the way, can be other fluids, of course. A glass of milk counts as your water intake. A glass of iced tea counts as your fluid intake. But you want to make sure you try to get at least about 2 quarts of fluid per day to make sure that you keep your kidneys nice and healthy. Okay, take care.